Hello, welcome. Today we're doing 14 stuff, Endwalker, endgame stuff, and yeah, I found the minstrel, so I figured I'd talk to him. Here we go. Who should I stand before me but the savior of the very star, the inevitable ender of the end? Your deeds are sung far and wide, my friend. As I understand it, your quest for the world's salvation brought you to Charlian. I, too, am here on a quest of sorts. The quest for musical inspiration. Alas, magnificent though this repository of knowledge may be, I find there is only so much inspiration I can derive from tomes. But where tomes alone fail to inspire, living words may yet spark the imagination. So I beg you, will you not regale me with the tale of your quest to deliver the star? If such an adventure isn't fit to be an epic, I would not know what is. Drawing upon both your first-hand account and the knowledge I attain here, I believe that I shall be able to weave the most marvelous of verses. Should you be willing, pray let me know. I shall continue my research here in the meantime. Greetings, my friend. If you have a tale to share, the minstrel is all ears. About Zodiac. Oh, what matter of thrilling adventure might this be? Gods be gods, good gods, a battle on the moon with Zodiac, eldest and mightiest of the primals. I pride myself on my imagination, but your feats transcend aught of mind could possibly conceive. Against all odds, you struck down the puissant being, yet triumph quickly turned to tragedy, for Zodiac's fall proved to be the trigger for the final days. Yes, yes, the words well up within me. Pray lend them an ear. Born of ancient men, a divinity was freed. Their hopes unrequited, they knew no reprieve. Born of mortal men, a champion did arise, ascending to the heavens, ruinations to defy. That the ancients should sacrifice half their numbers to save the star, the strength of their resolve makes me tremble in admiration, even as it saddens me to think that one of their own would seek to lay it all to waste, so deep was his despair. Not having lived their lives, I feel decidedly unworthy to speak of their hearts. Better that the whole truth remain with you, and you alone. Let it suffice for me to honor a fragment of their hopes and dreams in song, and that their lives and sacrifice may ever be remembered. Sweet. Talk about idling. This promises to be a most rousing adventure. In order to prove your readiness to avert the final days, you undertook a trial that imposed by no less a being than the will of the star, Eidolon herself. It staggers the mind to imagine such an encounter, to say not of the thousands of years that the knot had resolved to wait. Yes, I dare say I have a song. You will listen to it now, of course. Though eons apart, two kindred souls met, apart they would walk, all life to protect. Eons thence their paths would converge, as goddess and mortal, to silence thy dirge. For a time beyond counting, Hydaelyn waited for you in patience and faith, and when at last you were reunited, even as she desperately wished for you to surpass her, she knew she could not hold back, and did not. Hers was an unviable burden, and a noble sacrifice. Tears well in my eyes to imagine the hardships she had to endure, but it comforts me to know that her long journey was not in vain, that her hopes passed on to you. This tale is an epic among epics, and full honored am I to have been given the chance to weave a song for it. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. One more. Final days. A battle at the edge of existence, you say, against a fearsome being known as the Endsinger. It goes without saying that I should like to hear about this. Pray recount to me the tale of your mission from beginning to end. Good gods, I have known about the chaos of the final days, but never could I have imagined the events which brought them about. I do wonder, though, where this Ultima Thule will be located. Lest you misunderstand, I speak not of its physical location. If we wish to know that, I dare say we could have the coordinates from the Loporits. Nay, my friend, what I speak of rather is its essence. According to your description, 'tis a space where emotions dictate reality. It seems to me that in such a place it would be nigh impossible to draw a line between what is real and what is felt. In nature, there is a phenomenon wherein the structure of a massive object may resemble that of something diminutive. Might it not be possible, then, that the structure of the sea of stars resembles that of one of the heart and mind, of the complex mechanisms that govern our feelings? On the assumption that that is so, I am led to wonder, what is the true nature of the Endsinger? What was it exactly that you defied at the edge of existence? Ah, these are just wild ramblings of a minstrel. Pray do not lose sleep over it. Still, I must say, the idea of an entity that hoards despair has quite roused my imagination. For instance, had the Endsinger succeeded in gathering but a few more stars worth of despair, nay, perhaps even that of a few more souls, might the outcome have been different? Yes, I believe I shall explore such eventuality in a song. The light of hope kindled by your comrades is brilliant. Alas, so dark the despair you face, not even that light can pierce it. An inexorable verse of oblivion performed at the farthest reaches of existence. I shall name it the Endsinger Awry. Okay. Nothing for now, not to put undue pressure upon you, but the folk here are quite taken by the songs inspired by your tales. They await the next with bated breath, and I hope to be able to deliver ere long, with inspiration from your good self. Okay, cool. Unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. What's that? Hello, how may I help you? You're Yosun, aren't you? Ah, I thought I recognized that heroic mane. How wonderful to meet you. The name's Osmond. I'm a gleaner, as you may have surmised, mostly specializing in the collection of rare and curious books. It would seem that fate has brought us together. My work has given me an appetite for well-crafted stories, you see, but recently I've struggled to find any truly engaging material. So I thought to myself, why waste all this time bemoaning the lack of quality literature when you could be writing the exact kind of tales you enjoy? Which is why I'm so excited to be speaking with the vaunted champion Yo. If I could convince you to share some of the minutiae of your adventures, it would lend my fiction an undeniable authenticity. Let me tell you about the time I was just starting out. Well, that was a complete waste of. Osman, are you actually chatting? Scholar above, it's a miracle. And here I thought you capable of little more than grunts and sighs. May I introduce Swallow Moore, my colleague and eternal tormentor? Oh, come now, it's just a bit of playful banter. Trissant and I would use some good humor after failing to track down our quarry. I'll be damned. Yo, this is an honor, and an incredible stroke of luck. You are the very person we've been searching for. If you will indulge me for a moment, I can explain the situation at hand. As you know, Charlene was charged in antiquity with fulfilling a sacred duty, a duty which kept the gleaners buzzing to and fro like angry hornets. We would complete one grueling list of procurements only to be handed yet another, then another. The work was all we knew. But now all those days are behind us, the tasks have slowed to a trickle, and we find ourselves, well, strangely idle. Thus the guild ship in its wisdom has forged a partnership with the Adventurers Guild. We now have a system in place where odd jobs from other countries can be funneled here to us in Charlian. The tasks they pass on to us are, for the most part, not your average gleaner can handle. There is one client, however, who has asked for you specifically, and as the Adventurers Guild has no official presence in our city, we agreed to the odd job of facilitating that request. Think of us as their substitute Charlene branch, if you will. In any case, I'll be here at the counter, ready to provide you with the details. It doesn't appear to be an urgent matter, so feel free to engage the request when your schedule allows. Oh, and be sure to browse Trisent Wares. He has a special selection available for anyone who takes part in our odd job enterprise. Oh, yo, didn't quite get the chance before Shalimore commanded the conversation, but I wanted to thank you for indulging me with your stories. Do you think we might talk again sometime? I should love to hear how this odd job of yours turns out. As a result of the partnership between the Adventurers Guild and the Cleaners Guildship, you are now able to access an odd job from Swallow Moor at the Parasitical. Neat. Nothing worth sharing right now? Does this mean you're putting together a carefully curated account of exciting exploits to regale me with later? I can hardly wait to hear it. I have a special range of goods on offer for our odd job contributors. The historic artifacts you like to find here are more interest to us than ordinary gil. Can I? That's what these are for. Later on, anyway. I guess probably beginning too. If you're looking for work as a cleaner, if you got the right skills, then we've got a job for you. If your gathering and crafting is your game, then speak with Greg here. He'll find you some of the most lucrative work around. Okay, I'll come back to this. Ooh, do I have the ability to... No, I do not have the ability to hunt. Well, I'll come back to you. There's one thing I know I want to do. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew at this very spot I would encounter none other than Yo, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for, well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Nemiji, assistant to one Professor Claudine. We work with the Alita scope to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our very conjecture. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it. However, so we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudine will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. As I live and breathe, it really is you. I assume Nemjimji was simply attempting to pull one over on me, as it were. Perhaps I should pay more heed to her wild claims. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate any insight you can provide on the matter of the crystal. Professor Claudine will share the particulars with you. Greetings, Yo, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I am sure Nurmjimichi has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Claudine, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I have been nervous about this meeting ever since Namichi set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there is no greater an honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He has peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other Charlian, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless perhaps, but not for a single woman. We must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea from the anti-tower in the Dravanian Hitherlands. There we spoke with Heidelin and learned of the fate that would befall of this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and though the elitoscope did, we continue our vigil. And through the elitoscope did we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodus was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as it propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeded that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembled nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus towards the Exodus. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets, and now we would have you see for yourself. Here is the crystal in question. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. Yep. Memory abides within this crystal. As I thought, you do know what this is. Please tell me everything. I see. The Asians used these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. It was plain that the crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpassed even my considerable expectations. Sorry, I'm just answering a text, 1 second. Okay. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages, memories of martial techniques manifested as crystalline shards on the battlefield, or storied stones passed from master to student. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Asian memories, windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystals in Yeo's story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who then could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? Professor Claudine. Yeah, huh? Yes. I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to your breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest, one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Ah, yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry, I do find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. If anyone message come Pandæmonium, please. Faces grave threat, star, in danger. That expression does not bode well. What did you see? Pandemonium, 'tis not a word I have heard before. If my knowledge Knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me. It means all demons, not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Nemiji Risurend, I trust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Yo, there is a person I would have you seek, the one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beggar belief, and their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. So I ask you now, return to the past, find out what and where Pandemonium is, and if we need to be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. Pray journey to the past and ascertain the severity of the threat. Keep the crystal for now, until we can find a way to listen to its messages. It will do more good in your hands than ours. For Professor Claudine, I would burn the candle on both ends, or rather, I will. First, I must find the historical documents he requested, and then, what was I meant to do again? From this moment on, our objective shall be to fill every cranny of this place with crystals. Surely, the cleaners won't mind braving a few haunted battlefields for the right price. Love this song. I don't know. Alright. Welcome, my lady. If you wish to go to the ocular, I shall be glad to escort you. if receives this message. Come, Pandæmonium, quickly. Okay. Er. Ah. Could it be? Confused boy. No, of course not. Apologies. But for the briefest moment I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. Themis, as you can see by my bare face. I am not one of Elpis' observers. Rather, I come here on an assignment which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know for that matter. Could still use the old excuse I'm Asm's familiar. I'm also here on an assignment. Are you sure are you here to investigate the Pandæmonium, perchance? It would not surprise me should we share a purpose. If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, I might trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull. I see. I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Fascinating. While I cannot say much on what it contains, it's clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandæmonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the worlds of La Habrea. Worlds, I did not read that. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandæmonium ceased. I am here as a representative of an organization that works directly with the convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Melina in Aporia or Dejol in Radsadhan. Good to know. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandæmonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways with the falling star I had been waiting so long for. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had noticed the anomaly near Pandæmonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided that it would be unwise for us both to go. If two members of our organization were poking our heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words: "Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you." While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandæmonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Agnagoris. I sent a request for permission before setting forth to Elpis. With luck, we shall have not been waiting long. Words of La Brea's. What a fascinating etheric signature, in accordance with the congregation's requests. The two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandæmonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandæmonium as you please. Now, that was a painless process. I take this as a sign that we were meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, while you have been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work with the Pandæmonium are called warders for their role with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, interring them with the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandæmonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. For all intent and purposes, this place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imaginary, but Pandæmonium is a frightful place. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. Then I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master La Brea would have acted if they were worth worrying about. I see. It appears La Brea is kept well abreast of the going-ons here, then. I hope I am not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with La Brea. Do you know him? Either way, it's just like, yes. Oh, the stories I could tell you. Excuse me. You are no familiar, are you? Master La Brea is not known for being generous with his time. That one would have stories of his company amongst beggars' belief. Regardless, while I doubt any need to tell you this, he is of the convocation. Take care of your actions. Do not hinder his work. And with that, we are free to make our way to Pandæmonium. The news that will take us there is on the eastern bank of Leith. Let us delay no further. Pandæmonium can be reached via the Neus on the island of the northeast. I suggest you hurry before your companion leaves you behind. Okay. I had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances, but is it true that you two have met La Brea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandæmonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? Whoa. It is as much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity not nearly so grave as portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeing and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Pendulum effect. Even the finest masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding from the inside out. Fear not, there is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to sneak one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandæmonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone. trapless in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceful solution, then I hope that I can rely on your strength to see us through. This request doesn't come as a surprise, to be honest. At least you received it with good humor. Rest assured, I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk your life and limb. I hope to be able to lend it a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their issues in that regard. I had it in mind to use your ether as basis for illusionary allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do, not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Then so shall it be. Now what I wonder awaits us in Pandæmonium's pitiless halls. I cannot say for sure what awaits us. Let us make ready for the worst, and we shall not be taken by surprise. Okay. Let me check something. I do not have 565. What am I at? 560 is always like 5 or 7 points, I swear to God. Alright. Well, I'm gonna stop this part right here. This is part of the Pandæmonium raid thing, raid tier. So I'm gonna stop recording right here because I don't have the item level, but I'll be back with another video for that.